Now to former NYPD Inspector Paul Mauro, who's been at a court hearing for the Luigi Mangione case, but has now seen this video as well from Minneapolis. Paul, welcome to you. You've had a chance to see this. We've watched it together. Your key takeaway from it?
Well, Sandra, I think there might be a couple of things I could add. First of all, some of us who have been seeing the other videos have been noting that the officer who shoots appears to be holding his cell phone up in his other hand. So I assume that's the video that we're all viewing now. A number of us have been waiting to see that video because the feeling is that that gives you the most honest perspective of his vision into the incident, how it looked to him. So I think that this is very important for the officer's side of the case here, which is that from his perspective, you see a number of things going on. Number one, they're being extremely combative. Number two, the partner, that is, as you noted, on the passenger side, is not even in the car yet when the car accelerates towards the officer. You also hear the officer or somebody yell, "Whoa," something like that. So very clearly, it was a surprise. All of those things go into the totality of the circumstances, which is the metric legally that's used to assess these things for whether or not they should be deemed criminal on the side of law enforcement. And certainly a video like this, and by the way, they are rolling out body cams for ICE officers because they're aware that this could be the kind of thing that you want to capture in incidents like this. This officer apparently didn't have a body cam, but had the presence of mind to have his camera out during the incident. So he was cognizant of the fact that he was in a highly charged circumstance, and he definitely sounds surprised when this comes at him. It does sound like an impact. So look, while it's not fully dispositive, none of us know what it was like to be there. The idea that I've been saying, and as have others, that in analyzing this, you have to narrow the analysis to that split second when the officer has to make a decision, when he has to make that choice about what's happening and what he needs to do to defend himself. I don't think there's any way to see it other than the idea that this video would seem to cut his way and help his case.
Hey, Paul, it's John here. I mean, obviously, Sandra and I have not walked a mile in agent's shoes. You have been with law enforcement, so maybe you can give us a better perspective on this. When you take the totality of the situation, as Carrier Bond was talking about, that these people who call themselves legal observers, though they appeared to be breaking the law and not acting in a legal fashion, had been following the ICE agents, had been harassing them. You saw the dialogue back and forth between the ICE agent and the woman who was holding up her camera taking video. You saw the driver saying something as well. You have an agent who was 7 months ago dragged 150 feet by a person who they were trying to apprehend fleeing while his arm was stuck inside the car. When you take the totality of that, what is going through your mind at that moment as you enter into this confrontation?
Well, you know, it could be quite difficult. And let's add another factor to what you just said. She was blocking the road for upwards of 4 minutes, according to the reporting. And remember, they're trying to leave. Now, it has been the argument from many people on the ground there who are on the protest side that they want ICE officers out of their neighborhoods. Here's somebody who's keeping them in the neighborhood. So if you're sitting where those officers are, you got to start to say to yourself, I'm stuck here for 4 minutes. Now, there's reporting that the car was stuck in the snow as well. But clearly at that point, they were looking to leave. Her car is in the way. If you're sitting where they are, you have to say to yourself, are we being bottled up here for some reason? So you do have to be concerned about that. Look, there's going to be arguments, there already have been, that he fired too many times, and that at some point here he should have realized that the danger was mitigated. I find that when you see how fast it all happens and how fast the incident unfolds, you can see how sort of instantaneous those decisions have to be.
Okay. Paul, thank you very much for jumping on that. Brand new video just in.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.